right, beautiful people. Send out some notifications to the Discord. One moment, one moment. Okay, I think we're good. Get the comments pulled up. Comments. There we go. We got comments pulled up. All right, let's see who's going to be first today. Let's see who's going to be first in the chat today. This should be interesting. You guys have, let's hold up. Let's get to there we go. You guys have made it interesting for me. Always fighting over first. Ooh, it was a close one. It was a close one between Mike and Sanchez. Very close. Let's fix the comments. I don't know why that's doing that again. I didn't do that for a very long time, but hopefully that fixes it. Mike, what's up, dude? Sanchez, what's up? Mia, PJ, what's up? Yo. How's everyone doing? Welcome. I would say good morning because it feels like morning for me, but it's definitely not morning. Brian, what's up, dude? Welcome. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? We are going to be talking about, is resistance automatic? Is resistance automatic? Now, if you've been here, I like to say it like that. If you've been here, okay, if you've been here for a while, then you already know what first and second fear. If you haven't been here for a while, okay, it's crucial that you understand first and second fear to understand what we're going to be talking about today. First fear is those anxious feelings that you get. First fear is those negative intrusive thoughts that pop up in your head. What is second fear? Okay, that's first fear. First fear is out of your control. What is second fear? Second fear is whether or not you're fighting with any of it, getting up in your head and saying, oh no this, oh no that, please go away this, please go away that. That is second fear. First fear out of your control, second fear in your control. So, with that being said, what we're going to talk about today is resistance automatic. Basically, is second fear automatic, right? Is second fear automatic? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Is it something that happens on its own? You guys just heard me say that second fear is in your control, but is it automatic, right? Is it something that just happens, right? That's what we're going to be talking about today. It's automatic if it's habit, but you have to start catching it. Yes, PJ, you already know what's up, dude. We're going to talk about that. Hey, hey, we haven't even been streaming for what, 2 minutes? Not even 2 minutes. Brian coming in with a $10 tip, dude. I think you just won the quickest, won the award for quickest tip I've ever received. Thank you so much, Brian. Not even going for 2 minutes. We already got to give a shout out to Brian, man. Shout out to Brian in chat. What a good guy. First time I'm here this early into a stream. You are joining us early today. early today. So you guys are probably thinking, you're probably wondering, Wonder Bro, you've been wearing that same black tank top for the past 3 streams. Do you ever change your clothes? Okay, listen. I own more than one black tank top. Okay, I own more than one black tank top. But also, with that being said, if it ain't dirty, I'm not washing it. I'm gonna put it on again tomorrow, right? We ain't that famous. Okay, I'm gonna put this shit on again tomorrow if it don't stink. Hello, Wonder Bro. You are amazing, man. I'm on stage where I catch myself adding second fear and laughing. Sounds like you're on the right track, dude. Wonder Bro hits the stage and gets paid that quick with your stripper name. My stripper name is Wonder Bro. I mean, hey, it's a good one. Sanchez, good to see you, dude. Tony, what's up, Tony? I like night streams better. I try to mix it up, dude. You know, I try to mix it up. I try to do streams at every hour. Like we don't have a stream schedule, so sometimes it's early, sometimes it's like midday, sometimes it could be 2 o'clock in the morning. You never know with me, right? I keep you guys on your toes. You helped me get my life back. Has no price tag. Thanks for the help. I appreciate that, Brian. It's an honor, dude. Showing off them guns. You know it. All right, guys. We've already got a handful of people in here, and we're about 4 minutes in. We might as well get started. At this point. Yesterday, I forgot to remove the starting soon. I'm not going to forget today. Let's read one more comment before we get going. First time here, Wonder Bro. Thanks for all your help. You really saved me in some big ways. Currently struggling with anxiety around sleeping that has caused me not to sleep well. Well, today we're going to be talking about resistance, guys. We're going to be talking about resistance and whether or not it's automatic. So whether you're struggling with thoughts about sleep or you're struggling with thoughts about what's some more common ones, going crazy, or you're struggling with thoughts about how much you hate the anxiety or how much you fear the anxiety or what could or might happen in the future with your anxiety or what could or might happen in the future, period, right? So whatever it is you're struggling with, this stream should help you out. Sanchez says 10K. Dude, we're right around the corner. We are We are so close, I can almost reach out and touch it. So, anxiety recovery, you guys, is resistance automatic? Is resistance automatic? So, we know that first fear is those anxious feelings and those negative intrusive thoughts that just pop in your head. We can't control that. You didn't choose to have these anxious feelings. You didn't choose to have the thought come, right? Right? Someone says health anxiety. Yes, this is included. Health anxiety is included in everything I'm about to say. Anything anxiety related. So, first fear, those feelings, those thoughts. Can't control them. You had nothing to do with them. They're just happening. And you have nothing to do with that first fear. You can't control it. Now, second fear. Second fear, as Dr. Claire Weeks puts it, is the no more oh my goodnesses. And what she means by that is no more fighting with the thoughts and feelings. No more telling yourself horror stories about the thoughts and feelings. No more wishing them away. No more trying to argue with the thoughts and prove them wrong. Right? So that is second fear. But that leads us to the question of today's stream, the main point of today's stream. Is that automatic? Right? I'm looking at the chat. Mint, thank you so much. I'll read your tip message in just a second. Thank you guys so much. We're not even 6 minutes into this. You're so kind. So is it automatic? Is that second fear automatic? Second fear, we've got to get rid of it to recover. Is it automatic though? It can feel automatic. PJ already spoiled it. PJ already knows what's up in chat. It can feel automatic because it's such a habit, right? So let's say, for example, I'm sitting here chilling and I get these anxious feelings come over me. Now, out of habit, it can feel almost automatic for me to jump up in my head and say, oh no, here it is again. It can feel almost automatic out of habit because it is such a strong habit for me to jump up in my head and say, oh no, make it go away. Or let's say I get a negative intrusive thought. It can feel almost automatic for me to jump up in my head in a split second. It happens quick to jump up in my head and say, oh gosh, there's that thought again, or oh, I don't want that thought, or let me try to fight with that thought. And then it can feel so automatic. Now, is it automatic? Not really. It's not technically automatic. You're building a habit, right? So although it's not technically automatic, it can definitely feel that way because that habit is so strong. We jump up in our heads, okay? We jump up in our heads. Someone let the stream know that if they're having problems with it, just to refresh. If you're in here, just refresh. Refresh. I noticed we had a drop there. What is going on? Okay, sorry. So it can feel automatic, right? Because it is such a strong habit. And I'll give it a second here. Let some people get back in. I don't know why the stream dropped like that. Come on. Come on. All right, we're going to keep moving. I don't want to lose too much momentum. So it can feel automatic because the habit is so strong. So, for years probably, I would say for a lot of you that is true. I know it was definitely true for me. For years, you are in the habit of every time you feel an anxious feeling, every time you have a negative thought that you don't really like, you jump straight up in your head and try to either fight with it, wish it away, or tell yourself horror stories about these feelings and thoughts. Whatever it is that you mentally get up in your head and start doing that is resistful or a fight, right? Okay? So for years you have probably been in this habit, and that's why it feels so automatic. So that leads me to my next question that you guys probably have. If it feels so automatic and the habit is so strong that it happens almost automatically, okay, does that mean we are screwing up our chances of recovery? Just because the habit is so strong and because it feels like it's happening automatically, am I doing something wrong? Am I screwing up my recovery, Wonder Bro? Am I screwing up my recovery? Because it's automatic. Do I have to stop this automatic happening of second fear? It feels automatic in order to recover. Am I screwed if I can't break this automatic habit? And I'm going to tell you no. No, you're not screwed, but we need to catch when it happens and follow up with some acceptance, right? So that's a good way to put it. We need to catch when it happens. Okay, I know it feels automatic. It is such a strong habit to jump right up in your head when you get these thoughts and feelings and start adding that second fear, aka that fight, right? I don't want to feel this, or let me argue with this, or prove this wrong, blah, 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 blah. I know it feels so automatic. Okay, and I'm not asking you, I'm not telling you that you have to be perfect and that you have to shut down this automatic habit completely in order to recover. What I am telling you is that you have to start getting in the habit, okay, we're using that word a lot today, you have to start getting in the habit of catching yourself doing that. You have to get in the habit of catching yourself doing that and follow up with a new accepting attitude. So, let's say, for example, I've got this anxious feeling or I've got this thought, automatically, out of habit, I jump up in my head and I start saying, oh gosh, here it is again. Really, I really don't want to feel this. I can catch myself. Just because I automatically went to that second fear, it's so second nature, right? But just because I automatically went to that second fear doesn't mean I'm screwed. It doesn't mean I'm screwed, right? I can catch myself doing it. Okay, I did that. Step back, switch to an accepting attitude. I'm going to remind myself it's okay to have these thoughts. It's okay to have these feelings. I welcome these thoughts. I welcome these feelings. Whatever you choose to say, it is what it is. Bring it on, whatever approach you want to use. So, my main point really for today's stream is one of you don't have to be perfect. My main point for today's stream is one of you don't have to be perfect, and I know second fear feels almost automatic, right? I know second fear feels almost automatic. It is such a strong habit that it's almost like it's happening without your say so, right? And I get that. But my main point is you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to stop it altogether, right? You can catch yourself and you can start working on it. But just because you automatically added some second fear, almost instinctively, doesn't mean you're screwed. It doesn't mean, oh gosh, I'll never recover now because this habit is just so strong. What you can do and what you need to be doing is catch yourself when you do that, right? So it looks like this. Oh, there you are. Right? There you are. I just did it again. I got up in my head and I started fighting with all this. That's okay. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to switch to my accepting attitude now. I'm going to follow up, okay? I'm going to follow up that second fear habit when I catch myself doing it. I'm going to follow up that second fear habit with my new habit of acceptance, with my new reminder of acceptance, whatever you choose, right? It is what it is. I don't care. A more aggressive approach, bring it on, hit me with your best shot. There's a ton of different reminders you can give yourself. But the point is, you do not have to be perfect. Okay, you do not have to be perfect. That habit of second fear is very strong, and it's so strong, in fact, that it comes on almost instinctively. Now, we will eventually get you to the point where maybe it won't be that strong, where maybe it won't come on so instinctively, and instead your accepting attitude will be what comes on almost automatically. We will eventually get you to that point, which is the goal. But when you're first starting out, or maybe you're halfway through, I don't know, this habit of second fear can be so strong that it seems automatic, but that's not the problem. The problem is whether or not you're catching yourself when you do that before it turns into a whole big ordeal, hours and hours and hours of second fear. Catching yourself when you do that in that moment, taking that step back and say, okay, I'm switching to my acceptance attitude. It is what it is. I don't care. Bring it on. Give me your best shot. Whatever approach you want to take as far as reminders go. So, this stream is mainly just to let you guys know that no, you don't have to be perfect in order to heal. Nobody's perfect. You're all human beings. You all make mistakes, and that's just a part of life. So, that habit of second fear, okay, in conclusion, is very strong. It comes on very quickly. It's something that you've been building and working on for many, many years, probably. So it does come on very, very quickly, okay? And I'm going to sum up the main point of the stream again in a nice little neat package because I know we had a huge drop in the stream. I don't know what happened there. I apologize. So basically, to sum it all up again, that habit of fighting with your anxiety, of fighting with your anxious thoughts and feelings, getting up there mentally and fighting with it all is so strong that when you experience an anxious feeling or a negative intrusive thought, you might notice that you get up here and start fighting with it almost instinctively, almost immediately. That's not a problem. It only becomes a problem if you don't catch yourself doing that. So by catch yourself, I mean, I'm sitting here, I get an anxious feeling or I get an anxious thought. And then I jump up in my head and say, no, I don't want to think that. That's bad. Go away, go away. Or I start arguing with the thoughts. No, that won't happen because of this, and I'm going on for hours and hours. That becomes a problem. It's not a problem that you instinctively went to go do that. It's a problem when you go to do that and do it for hours. Okay, and you keep adding gas to the fire, gas to the fire. So what you need to do, what recovery looks like is, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm anxious, I'm getting thoughts, but every time I catch myself gassing it up with resistance or a fight, whatever that looks like in my head, I'm going to take a step back and say, oh, you're doing it again. You know what? I accept these thoughts and feelings. Bring it on. Give me your best shot, or it is what it is, or maybe a more neutral approach like, I don't care, it's just my body's protection mechanism, bring it on. Do your worst, right? Do your worst. So it's a catching yourself. It is a catching yourself, adding the second fear, even though it feels automatic. Catch yourself when you do it, and then follow it up with your new habit of acceptance. So it's okay that you have an anxious thought or feeling, and out of instinct, out of habit, you go, "Oh gosh, I don't want to feel this." And then you say, "Hey, whoa, what did you just say? No, no, we're not doing that crap anymore. You know what? It is okay that I feel this. In fact, I want to feel it. It's a good time to practice, right?" So it's not about being perfect. It's not about never adding second fear again. We will eventually get you to the point where it becomes habit to do acceptance rather than second fear. But for right now, depending on where you are, it is okay if you have to catch yourself. It's out of habit adding second fear. Take a step back and say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, that's not me anymore. Whoa, 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 that's not how I'm approaching this thing anymore. I'm going to follow up that second fear that I added out of habit with a statement like, you know what? Do your worst, feelings. Do your worst, thoughts. I embrace these thoughts and feelings. Thank you for that. Thanks for coming, but no thanks for my involvement. I'm just going to let you be. You can do whatever you'd like to do, right? No, no thanks to my involvement, but thanks for coming anyway, right? And come back again if you'd like to, and again and again and again if you'd like to, right? So you might not believe those words when you speak them, but you will, right? You will. So, again, to sum it up, it's not about being perfect. You might catch yourself adding second fear out of habit. That's okay. You need to catch yourself doing it, take a step back, and follow it up with acceptance each and every time. Each and every time. And this is not about making anxiety just go away in the moment. If you're going at it like that, you're going at it the wrong way. I apologize. Recovery will happen in time. But during the process of recovery, this is about switching the attitude. This is about saying, okay, someone said I have a crazy fear of going crazy and schizophrenic. Okay, well, then maybe instead of fighting with that fear and teaching your brain that it's a problem, next time you have that thought pop up, you need to say, okay, I can't wait for the straitjacket. Ooh, Wonder Bro is controversial. Okay, listen, you got to understand. When you adopt a paradoxical approach to anxiety, you start to fight fear with fear, right? You start to say, okay, be afraid. You start to say, okay, do what you will. Because you got to understand, as long as you resist, what you resist persists. That's such a classic quote. Everybody's heard it so many times that you're probably sick of hearing it. But let's really take that for what it is, because that is so, so true, right? So, you know, I've been saying here recently that this is not about making the anxiety go away in the moment. Recovery will happen in time, but you got to get to the point where you're willing to step into these thoughts and feelings with an attitude of bring it on, or maybe a more neutral attitude, an attitude of it is what it is, right? But there's no more fight, there's no more resistance. If the mind, somebody commented, if the mind wants to say you might go crazy one day, your response to that, instead of fighting and telling it all the reasons why it won't happen, which is just going to fuel it, it's going to love that, your response to that should look something like, okay, maybe I will, maybe I won't, maybe I will. All right, so be it. Thanks for that. Thanks for that thought. Come again. And then get on with picking your nose, right? So, this is all a paradox. It's all a great paradox. And the more we resist, the more it persists. The more we fight, the more we tell the brain, danger, danger, danger. If we want to prove to the brain that danger is not existent in these thoughts and feelings and that we are okay, we cannot resist. We cannot fight, because to the brain, if you're mentally fighting, if you're fighting, a fight is a fight to the brain. And that means danger. And that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. Really, a fight to the brain will always mean one thing: danger. So, with that in mind, with the brain only seeing a fight as danger, which approach should I adopt? Right? With that being true, which approach should I adopt? Every time my brain says you might go crazy, should I curl up in a ball and say, no, 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 that won't happen, that won't happen, that won't happen, that won't have to think about something else, think about something else. Oh, I don't want to feel it, I don't want to feel it. There comes the anxiety that comes with it. That was me. That was me for a very long time, right? Now, should we go that route if a fight to the brain means danger? Is that the route we should take? If a fight to the brain means danger? No, no, absolutely not. What we should do, okay, Whether we have all the confidence in the world or not, whether we believe it or not, what we should do when the brain says you might go crazy, and thank you to whoever made that comment, I love being able to use examples. What we should do if we know that a fight to the brain means danger, when we have that thought you might go crazy, we should say, whew, that makes me a bit uncomfortable. There's that anxiety. All right, I'm going to practice. I won't feel it. Right? And the brain says, well, you might really go crazy. And you're going to say, well, get out the straitjacket. Right? You're going to say, okay, thanks for that suggestion. You're going to say, okay, thanks for coming, but I'm not getting involved. I'm not going to try to prove you wrong. I'm not going to try to prove you wrong because I'm not fighting with you, right? I'm not fighting with this child anymore. Okay, so whether you want to take a more aggressive stand approach and say bring it on, or you want to take a more approach of it is what it is, thanks for that suggestion, come again, right? Thanks for coming, but no thanks for me fighting with you. Thanks for coming though, I appreciate it, right? So which approach should we take, chat? If a fight to the brain means danger, which approach should you take? You know the answer to that because you've been taking the fighting approach for so long, and how far has it gotten you? It's never gotten you anywhere that you want to be, right? Because again, a fight to the brain means danger. So people don't want to feel the way they feel. They don't want to feel this anxiety. They don't want to have these thoughts. And the more you don't want to, the more they seem to stick around and bug you and grow in size, right? Because it comes back to that old quote again, what you resist persists. So acceptance is all about stepping into these thoughts and feelings, whether you do it with a more aggressive attitude and you mock it, or whether you do it with a more neutral, accepting attitude. As long as it's accepting and you're no longer fighting with these thoughts and feelings and you're just embracing them and you're not dreading their return, you're welcoming their return. As long as there's no fight, or at least less of a fight as you practice, right? You're going to make progress. So, I don't care which attitude you want to approach it with as long as that underlying, attitude is acceptance. So you've been avoiding these thoughts and feelings for so long by mentally trying to do things to escape them, compulsion, safety, the list goes on and on. But there's no way to tiptoe around this. There's no way to tiptoe around fear. So you need to show your brain that these thoughts are not real dangers. You need to show your brain that these feelings are not real dangers. How do you do that? How do you do that? The two main keys. Live your life despite the way that you feel. Understand that you can make choices for you. You don't have to make choices for the anxiety. And as you're doing that, when these thoughts and feelings come, adopt that attitude of acceptance. No more fighting with these thoughts. Instead, just embrace and accept. That is the two main keys in a nutshell right there, guys. And I know you might not be starting with a lot of confidence. And that's okay because that confidence will come. And understand that you're going to have to face some feelings. You're going to have to feel it to heal it, and that's okay too. In time, you will see how this works. It'll all start to make sense to you, and it'll get easier and easier, right? So, one last tip before I end the main point of this stream. One last tip. Do not go about this if you have decided to go about this. Do not go about this with the attitude of, I'm going to do this and hopefully the anxiety will go away. Yes, that is the end goal. Yes, you will heal. Yes, the symptoms will fade. But that is never the goal in the moment. That is never the goal in the moment. The goal in the moment is to practice that accepting attitude. And it starts with how you respond, right, to these thoughts and feelings. You need to keep it short, sweet, and rooted in acceptance. All right, you guys. Woo! I feel like that was a good one. I'm happy with today's stream. That is the end of the point of today's stream. Let's see. We've got some tips that I missed while I was ranting. Let's see. Mint with the $5 tip. Better do this now so I don't miss the good stuff while I'm away from the YouTube app. Hey, I appreciate that, Mint. Thank you for the $5 tip. Let's get that added to the tip total. Puts us at 15. Let's see. Pooty coming in with the, I assume, a $15 tip, but they reduced it down a little bit, so $13.96. Pooty with the tip says, "You helped me so much, man. That's the least I can do. A little bit of a language barrier. We'll get it. After spending money on crap." Okay. Thank you, Pooty. Thank you so much for the tip, dude. I really, really, really appreciate it. Felt possible when my problem was fear and anxiety while taking a walk. Now there's also these thoughts I must get moving to an acceptable body. So when those thoughts say you're going to have a horrible body one day, just say, yeah, okay, whatever you say, bud. So, we don't like to do that. We don't like to step into these thoughts and say, okay. We want to prove our mind. We always want to appease our mind. Stop playing servant. Stop playing the person that tries to always appease their mind. You can't win with it. It's like arguing with a child, right? It's like arguing with a child. You can't with it. Stop trying to appease it. Just take it. Take what it says and say okay. And if it makes you feel a certain way to do that, that's okay too, right? We're welcoming what happens. We're welcoming what happens. All right, so that puts us at a total of 28. 28 on the tips today. Thank you guys so much. Pooty, Mint, Brian, I appreciate you guys. My approach is always humor. Oh, call the mental hospital. I'm going crazy. Then me and my husband just laugh it off and make jokes about it. There you go. You can use humor. That's a good point. That's one that I haven't really spoke a whole lot about. You can use humor. Sure, as long as the attitude is acceptance, right? Whether you want to use humor or you want to get a little bit of an attitude, okay, as you accept and just mock it a little bit, or whether you want to be more neutral and laid back. We usually talk about neutral and laid back here, but whatever attitude you want to approach. Do you see the thing here? It's not so much the terms that we use, it's not so much the reminders that we give ourselves, it's the attitude. It comes down to the attitude. These reminders help us get to that attitude, right? But at the end of the day, it's the attitude. It's whether or not you're fighting. It makes me laugh now rather than cry. That's awesome, Seasonal. You're obviously making great, great progress. Very proud. I'm doing the acceptance right now. It's hard, but I'm healing. Okay, perfect. But next time, let's change the attitude again. Let's change it from it's hard to yes, it might be a bit difficult, but this is perfect. This is exactly what I need to get my life back. You see? See what we're getting at here? It's all about that attitude. Wonder Bro, I got the new chilling rain. So let's go. I'm living, baby. Hey, Fee. I hope you're doing good, dude. It's good to see your face. All right, guys. That was a good stream. I'm happy with that stream. So if you're late, it'll definitely be uploaded. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you're late, it'll definitely be uploaded. Why is my phone always on like 10%? Seasonal. Hey. Seasonal. Seasonal making it rain. Seasonal making it rain with the $5 tip says, thank you for helping me with my recovery. I'm so glad that you're feeling better. And, give yourself a pat on the back. I just helped you along, but it was you at the end of the day that had to put in the work. So you should be congratulating yourself more than anybody. Thank you so much for the $5 tip. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I've got to turn that notification sound down at some point because you guys jump scare me with that every single time. It is so loud in my headphones. It's the new Pokemon card set. They dropped it this morning. I got to the line early. That's awesome, dude. Awesome. I used to be a huge fan of Pokemon when I was growing up. I kind of dropped off a little bit, but I still watch it. I still watch it from time to time. Like if I see it on Netflix or something and I don't have anything else to watch, I'll put on some Pokemon. Hey man, I'm glad you was able to snag that card set though. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. But again, Mint, to just kind of address your comment again, I know how trapped you can feel in certain situations when it comes to the context of the thought, but I want you to drop the context. And I want you to understand that if it's a negative thought, it's a negative thought. And I want you to understand that if it's a negative thought, we should just embrace and accept it and not try to fight with it, because that's a lot like arguing with a child, right? Right? And then at that point, you can make whatever choice you want to. It doesn't matter what choice you want to make, but let's not argue with the child, right? Let's just say, okay, bud, right? I keep watching your videos every day to remind myself to not add second fear since I'm at the start of my recovery, and that's okay. Eventually, you will need my assistance less and less. And eventually, you will need my assistance less and less. There's nothing wrong with support. There's nothing wrong with having support from time to time. That's why I offer things like the Discord. But I also, at the same time, have a constant reminder in there that comes up every 8 hours to tell people not to rely too heavily on it. So I understand that you got to gain the knowledge to use it. I also understand that when you're first starting, some support helps. But at the same time, you'll need it less and less. I promise. As time goes on, you'll need it less and less. Sat through a whole 2.5-hour movie yesterday. Washed my car today, going to drive 3 hours to the Los Angeles baseball game. I'm anxious but ready. Dude, it sounds like you're killing it. It sounds like you're killing it, to be honest. So give yourself a pat on the back, man. And no matter what feelings or thoughts come while you do this, remind yourself, bring it on. Or whatever approach you like, okay? Whatever approach you like. Remind yourself when you catch yourself adding that second fear, attitude of acceptance. Give me your best shot, right? I know that second fear, I mean, that's what we talked, that was the main point of today's stream. I know it feels automatic because it's such a strong habit. Catch yourself doing it and take that step back and switch it up. Switch it up, follow it up with some acceptance. In some way, I must choose between working on going out or working on being okay not exercising. I want to move forward with recovery, but like there's even a way to not feed that negativity. Make a choice. Make a choice. Let's not spend too much time debating, right? Because either way we can recover. Whether you choose not to work out or you choose to work out, either way you can recover. Because here's the thing: if you choose not to work out, and then you've got these thoughts in your head that say you're going to have a disgusting body because you chose not to work out, you can simply say, yeah, okay, you're right, sure, sure, sure. Give me a pack. Give me a pack of Oreos, right? I'll help you. I'll help you with this ridiculous thought that I'm going to have a disgusting body one day because I don't work out. Sure, whatever you say, bud. Whatever you say. So if you choose not to work out, you can go that route. If you choose to start working out, okay, great. Your mind will probably throw you some negative thoughts that say, oh, you're just doing this. You're just doing this to avoid fear. And to that, you can respond with, yep, sure, you're right, bud. I guess you're right. Right? And then you can get back to your working out. So do you see what I'm saying? Either way, with whatever choice you make, whether you don't work out or you do work out, your mind's going to twist that in some way. Anxiety's going to twist that in some way and give you some negative thoughts. And to those negative thoughts, you can simply embrace and accept them and get on with your life. So either way, you got it. Either way, you got it, right? Mine says you're going to be disgusting because you chose not to work out, and you say, okay, well, just for that, I'm going to go out today and I'm going to get me the biggest, fattest pack of Oreos. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to eat every single one of them, and I'm just going to agree with you, right? Or the mind says, hey, you're only working out to avoid fear, and to that, I'm going to say, you know what? Yeah, you're right, bud. You're right. Sure, whatever you say. Thank you for that thought. Thank you. I appreciate it. Send it again, would you? Um, so either way, you're good. Just make a choice, and we'll go from there. So should I stop or at least watch them less further into recovery? Naturally, you'll find way less interest in my videos. That's how it works. Naturally, you'll find way less interest in my videos because you'll start to heal and you won't really care anymore. I'm on the treadmill right now, about to run. I have crippling exercise-induced anxiety. It sounds like you're killing it, Brian. Like you're getting it, dude. You're getting it. Remember to keep that accepting attitude no matter what might come, right? All right, guys, we're going to switch over to post-stream for a moment. I'm going to pull up comments so I can still have you guys with me during the smoke break. Let's see here. All right. To address that comment even further, should you stop watching my videos? Like I said, naturally you're going to stop watching my videos because you're not going to be as interested anymore because you're starting to heal. You understand what's up, so you don't really need it. So naturally, that's something that kind of happens on its own. Now, if I met someone who was binge watching my videos 24/7 and wasn't using the advice, I would say it's time to put in the work and stop with the binge watching. Right? But just because you're new and you're learning the advice doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. You got to learn it to use it. But in the meantime, when you do get off my videos, make sure you're putting it into play. Make sure you're putting it into play. The advice is only as good as you using it, right? So keep that in mind. I believe we did. I think we got a $5 tip from Sylvia. It went directly through the PayPal, so I didn't get the notification on screen. I'm glad I checked my phone. I will update that. I will update that as soon as I get back to my setup. Don't let me forget, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's all about not fighting with the child that lives in your head anymore, Mint, because that's essentially what you're doing. Fighting with a child. Just make a choice and run with it. We could spend so much time debating on it, but let's just make a choice and run with it. And whatever the child in the head wants to say about it, let's not feed it. Let's just say, okay, thanks for that. Thanks for that. I'm going to get back to doing what I want to do now. So you're no longer fighting it and saying, oh no, this, oh no, that. It's just enough debating. Let's just make a choice, run with it, and however the anxiety wants to twist it, turn it, or pull it, we'll just go right with it. We won't try to fight it, right? Again, shout out to Sylvia for the $5 tip. Hootie, thank you so much. Mint, Brian, thank all of you guys so much. I hope I didn't forget anybody. Caesar Mommy, right? I think. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we take a moment just to show some love to our tippers? Can we take a moment just to spam that chat with some emojis for a bit? We got to show love to our tippers, man. They help the show go on. They help the show go on. So can we show them some emoji love in the chat, please? Please, please, please. But when I do float, I feel I'm so lightheaded that I freak out automatically. Well, whatever the symptom, dude, as long as you're taking care of yourself, and that means that you're not starving yourself to death or whatever, as long as you're taking care of yourself and you know these symptoms are the result of the anxiety condition, which I'm here to tell you they most likely are, especially if you've been cleared by a doctor. Definitely if you've been cleared by a doctor, but you get my point. As long as you're taking care of yourself and you understand that these symptoms are symptoms, acceptance will always be key. Acceptance will always be key. Take care of yourself, live your life for you, and make sure you're using that accepting attitude because we're no longer going to fight with the toddler in the mind, as Seasonal in the chat said, called it, referred to it as a toddler, and she is very much correct about that. You're not going to win a fight with a toddler. In case any of you have never been around a toddler, you're not going to win a verbal argument with a toddler. Okay, they're just going to get upset at you. That's normally how that goes. Wonder Bro, I get anxious when I'm alone, as if I have a fear of being alone or that I need someone around. Very, very common. Probably one of the most common side effects of being in the anxiety state is the fear of being alone. However, you can approach this fear like you approach any fear, with an attitude of acceptance. Okay, I'm going to be alone and I'm going to feel what it feels to be alone, and I'm going to welcome to the best of my ability any thoughts and feelings that come along with being alone. So, you can go at your own pace. You're allowed to go at your own pace. Nobody's perfect. Nobody has to push themselves. You can go at your own pace. I never tell anybody that they're not allowed to go at their own pace. However, as you go through life, remember that you are no longer going to fight with these thoughts and feelings. You're going to welcome them to the best of your ability. Agreed, Pooty. As you start to heal, these thoughts will become more and more laughable. As you begin to heal, these thoughts will definitely become more and more laughable. It's just right now, sensitive nervous system, it overreacts. That's what it does. That's what it's supposed to do, right? That's the whole thing about being in a sensitive, keyword sensitive, sensitized, sensitive nervous system is that it overreacts, right? Great stream today, guys. Great streams. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Good to hang out with everybody. Love seeing you guys. I know the advice is easier said than done when you're feeling extremely uncomfortable, but we really want to get you into the attitude of good. Good, I feel uncomfortable, right? And that takes practice. I am back and I did not forget about the tip that I need to add to the tip goal from Sylvia. Thank you so much. Get that updated. I usually laugh at myself for adding second fear when I'm not in an anxious state, but when I'm in an anxious, I keep forfeiting the keys and I go back to old ways. Very common. Like I said, that's why we love the word practice around here. That's why we absolutely adore the word practice around here because nobody's perfect. At the end of the day, I'm not doing streams for perfect individuals because guess what? Nobody is, right? At the end of the day, I'm not coming on here saying that I myself was perfect because I definitely wasn't. In fact, I knew the advice, I knew about acceptance long before I actually started using it, right? So I understand completely what you mean by, when you're not anxious, it's very easy to use. When you are anxious, you forfeit it and you go back to the bad old habits. I get that. I get that completely. You're not perfect. Keep at it. Keep practicing. It'll make sense in time. Why do therapists not take the time to explain acceptance method in such a comprehensive method as you do? So I'm going to assume that you mean why do therapists tend to overcomplicate it? It's not entirely true. Don't get me wrong, that is the case sometimes, but it is becoming more popular. That's the good news. Acceptance is becoming more popular. It's becoming more recognized. We're starting to learn where we've been going wrong this whole time, as far as anxiety is concerned and treating anxiety is concerned. So you're starting to see growth in the mental health community. You're starting to see people really latch on to acceptance. You're starting to see people really see the truth. It's becoming more and more and more common for therapists to teach acceptance in this way. In fact, a lot of people that come in here, they tell me that they tell their therapists that what they've learned in my videos, and they said that their therapists absolutely agree with everything that I say. That happens almost every other day. I have someone in here, maybe not every other day, but quite often I have people pop in and say that, right? So it's becoming more, acceptance is becoming more accepted. And hopefully that continues to go that way. Hopefully it continues to go that way. As far as why they make it so complicated, I don't know. Each individual therapist is their own person. I'm not a therapist, but all the therapists out there, they are their own people at the end of the day, so they're going to put it how they want to put it. And if they choose to make it overcomplicated, I don't know. But acceptance in general is becoming more accepted. There we go. Maya knew about it. She agreed about it. She notices a big difference and told her about the method. She agreed too. Yeah. Anytime someone mentions their therapist, I think I've only had maybe one person in the 3 years that I've been doing this tell me that their therapist didn't agree with me, which was quite hilarious because the person who told me that told me they were making more progress with everything that I have told them compared to what they have told them. So, um, jokes on you, Mr. Therapist. But I'm not saying therapists are bad. Always continue to see your therapist, continue to see your doctor. I'm neither of those things. I'm not a doctor nor a therapist. But what I am saying is that 9 times out of 10, 99.9% of the time, I have people come in here and tell me their therapist agrees with every single thing that I say, right? So acceptance is starting to become more accepted, right? Acceptance is starting to become more accepted, and I love it. I absolutely love it. In fact, I think we just had someone in here maybe yesterday or the day before that said they told their therapist what I said about feel it to heal it. And their therapist replied with, okay, I love that. And every time I have a client in, I'm going to tell them that, and I'll tell them that Vacate Fear taught me that. And that made me feel good. I like that a lot. Ego. It's true. I've seen three pairs. A therapist and none have helped me. As far as that goes, I'm getting tongue tied. I'll never purposely bash a therapist. Like I'll never purposely bash a therapist. I'll never tell anyone that they shouldn't see their therapist. You should absolutely see your therapist. You should absolutely see your doctor. Um, but at the same time, if my videos help you, great, great, right? I'll never bash therapy. I'll never bash it, right? That would be irresponsible for me to do that. So I will never bash therapy. But at the same time, you're a grown adult. You got to make your own choices there. I'm glad my videos helped you, seasonal, more than the experiences that you had with therapists. I'm glad for that. I'm happy for that. But with that being said, there is a lot of good therapists out there that do use acceptance. I catch these streams regularly now. Pure luck. Missed out on them last few months. Good to be back. Hey, it's good to see you, Gordon. It's good to have you back. She then told me it's a practice and down the road will come easier, and she was honest to tell me no need to see here as I'm on a good path, just to be patient. That's awesome, dude. Obviously, you're making great progress. Obviously, you're making great progress. On top of the therapy thing, mine was a crazy Russian guy who was kind of scary, but I told him about acceptance, and he actually agreed after I explained what it was. Yeah, I've never really had, aside from that one person who then told me that my advice helped them more. I've never really had anyone come in here and tell me that their therapist disagreed with what I said. I've had everyone who mentions their therapist who have told their therapist, they agree. $20 tip. Hey, hey, hey. $20 tip from Elsa. I hope I said your name right. Elsa? Please correct me if that's wrong. Elsa, I think that's right. Thank you so much for the $20 tip. That breaks tip goal. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are so awesome. You guys are so awesome and kind to me. I really appreciate it. What would I do without you? Can we give a shout out in the chat for that $20 tip, please? Well, like I said, we should always be grateful for our tippers. They keep the show on the road. They keep us here every single day. They make it, possible for me to focus on this full time. So we should always show them all the love and gratitude in the world, right? My fear seems to get heightened when I accept it. It's like they don't want to be exposed as bluff. Have you ever heard the old saying, you got to feel it to heal it? It's okay. You're dropping your compulsions. You're dropping your safety nets. You're cutting that safety net in two. You're no longer fighting with it. You're going to have to feel it. And the fact that you're going to have to experience some growing pains, that's fine, Sam. It doesn't mean that you're on the right track. Of course, you're going to feel the anxiety now. This is not like taking a pill. You know, acceptance is not like taking a pill. Of course, you're going to feel it, and that's good. I want you to adopt an attitude of this is good. This is practice, right? Now I can practice feeling these feelings and having these thoughts without fighting with them, and instead just telling myself, bring it on, right? Or whatever approach you want to use. So it's good, Sam. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Acceptance is not like taking a pill, right? Now I just use it as a place to vent and bounce my ideas off. Okay. Okay. However you want to take it, right? Whatever works for you. My therapist retired and she was amazing, and I've been lost without her, but now I found you and I'm doing pretty good so far. That's awesome, Maddie. I hate to hear that about your therapist. You said she was awesome and amazing. I agree. There's a lot of amazing and awesome therapists out there. There really is. And like I said, most of them do use acceptance, and they might not put it the same way I do. You know, they got to be a bit more professional than me. Um, they've got to use big fancy terms and put it in a different way. You know, that's part of the job. But there's still a lot of awesome therapists out there. Suggestion of making a type of podcast. Release your videos in audio form on streaming platforms like Spotify and SoundCloud. That's something I should look into. I completely agree with you. That is definitely something I should look into. Thank you for that suggestion. Just got done with my workout. This is when I get panic attacks or near panic attacks. I have to pace for almost an hour. Guess what? I'm not doing that today. That is awesome, dude. And let's say that anxiety did creep up on you. You know the attitude to take. That this is a good thing, not a bad thing. It's right. Thank you. Okay. I finally pronounced someone's name right, Elsa. Normally if I'm not confident in pronouncing the name, I get it wrong. So, I'm glad we got it right there. Thank you so much for the $20 tip. I really do appreciate you. I really do appreciate you, Elsa, Seasonal, Instant Mint, Brian. Thank you guys so much. Sylvia, thank you guys so much for all of your tips today. It truly does mean a ton to me. Switch over to the post stream again. Let's see, how long have we been streaming? Almost an hour. Not quite. Not quite. I at least try to do an hour. At least. I really do appreciate that, though, guys. You guys know that tipping is optional, but the fact that you choose to still do it anyway does mean a ton to me. It does help me out more than you know. This is, this is what I do for a living, so I do appreciate the support. I really, really do. And even if you can't tip, thank you so much just for watching. Thank you so much just for being here, liking the videos, commenting. All of that helps. You know, it's a help situation. We help each other, and I really do appreciate all the support. Andre is pronounced and Andrea. Andrea. I feel like I'm still saying it wrong. I feel like I'm just gonna start calling you C. Okay, AC. There you go. You are now officially AC in my eyes. I hope that's okay. Unless Andrea is right, then I'm just gonna start calling you AC. I hope that's okay. Or you give me a nickname. You tell me what you want me to call you, and we'll go that route. The value you put out on these videos is gold, man. I wish more people heard you. I appreciate that, Brian. Thank you so much for that comment, dude. Like I've always said, I'll never put this shit behind a paywall. I would never do that. I might write a book at some point or something, but I will never put the advice that's needed to heal behind some sort of paywall. It'll always be right here, right for free. Because I remember growing up, when I first started getting into all this mess, being so desperate for advice that would help, and you'd read the whole page, right? You'd read the whole page, you'd get down to the bottom, and you'd see that stamp that said, Visa, Mastercard accepted, right? And then you would realize that, hey, you're a 17-year-old kid, you don't know what's happened to you, the world is crashing down around you, whatever, whatever, whatever. You feel like dirt, and you're extremely scared, but you don't own a Visa, Mastercard. You definitely don't own a Visa, Mastercard with that sort of cash on it. So I come at this channel with a bit of a mission, and that mission was being extremely pissed off that people try to capitalize on the suffering of other people, right? So I came at this channel with a mission, and that was to always keep the advice completely free, while also, hopefully building the channel to a point that it is now, where I can help as many people as I do, and still get the support to keep the show on the road, right? So it works out for everybody. If you can't tip, you can't tip. You never have to. If you can, show your support. That's great. So it works out for everybody. I think we've accomplished our goal. I think we've accomplished our goal, and we're just going to keep growing from here. And I can't do it without you guys, so appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. How many are we over 10K subscribers? How close are we to 10K subscribers? We're about, what are we guys? About 70 subs away, something like that. About 70, I think. 70, 60, something like that. I need to check it again today, but we are close, man. We are so close. I'm excited. I'm excited, excited, excited. Excited. And again, I couldn't do that without you guys, so had a guy help me for about a month and then out of nowhere started wanting about $300 a week. Um, I'll never bash anybody else. It might make me personally angry or whatever, but I'll never bash anyone else, call anybody out like that. That's stupid. I don't do that to people. They're allowed to do whatever they want to do. But I'm just not going to go that route, right? I mean, I can understand if somebody's giving you like one-on-one support, they might want some sort of kickback for their time because they're using that one-on-one, right? It takes a lot of their own time. They got to have a way to survive. I understand that. I get that. Um, but at the same time, I'd rather just stick to doing my streams. That way, anybody who needs the help can get it. And then at the same time, if people want to support me, they can, right? So it works for everybody. It works for everybody this way. I'm ready for a marathon. Man, that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So for those of you who don't know, okay, and I'm not 100% certain on this, I don't want to make any promises I can't keep, but right now we're kind of throwing around the idea of for 10K we're going to do a 10-hour stream. It's like a stream-a-thon. So it probably won't be anxiety related. It'll be more of like a celebration. We're just going to hang out. We're going to, have fun. We're going to we're going to joke around and just chill, listen to music, that sort of thing. So it probably won't be anxiety related. That's not to say that I won't answer some questions because I'm sure I'll still get people, with some questions here and there. But the main focus of that 10-hour stream, if we do it, will just be a celebration. So somebody asked if it's normal to feel a bit low or depressed. I wouldn't label yourself as depressed. I'd say you're tired and fatigued. After all, you did go through a lot. I'm assuming you're on the road to recovery, so your body and mind has been through a lot. I wouldn't be so quick to label yourself as depressed. I would say that you are tired and fatigued because you did just go through a pretty intense journey. So that's one way to look at it. That's a bit more bright than looking at it as I'm depressed now, right? All right, switch on back to the face cam. Speaking of AC, we got to get some AC going in here. True. Yeah, it's just a better way to look at it, dude. It's pretty self-defeating when you start placing labels on yourself. I understand that we need labels to be able to address certain things, but at the same time, when you start putting labels on yourself, it becomes a little self-defeating. So I'm not a huge fan of labels. I'm not a huge fan of labels. I wouldn't be so quick to call yourself depressed. I would not. I would not be so quick to call yourself depressed. Yeah, the channel is my source of income, Gordon. I don't have ads turned on at the moment. Those will probably come soon. I hope you guys don't mind that. They will probably come soon, but they're not on at the moment. I did work at a grocery store when I was younger. My last job was a fish place. I worked at a fish place frying fish. Not the funnest thing in the world. I definitely prefer what I do now, but hey, I remember coming home with so many burns from that hot oil splashing. Oof, not fun. Not fun. I mean, it could have been worse. It wasn't horrible, but I definitely prefer what I do now. So, day jobs suck. All right, guys. We are approaching we are approaching that 1 hour mark. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was an excellent stream. So if you missed it, it will be uploaded, assuming YouTube doesn't glitch up or something like that. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love. Thank you so much for all you do. I'm glad we can help each other, right? So thanks for watching. 10K subs right around the corner. If you're not subscribed yet, this is your sign. Man, it only takes a second. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you're already subscribed, because it definitely helps the channel grow. I love you guys, and I'll see you all very soon, probably over in the Discord. And until next time, as always,